The third thing we are gonna deal with is the update function, which is called every time we put a tick or remove a tick from our checkbox that is situated right beside every to-do we have, so that if we put a tick here or remove a tick, it will remain in our server so that we don't have to change or modify it anytime we close and reopen the page. Our update function, first of all, takes the input that I've been providing in my HTML by the keyword this, and so on. We are having as a to-do item our input type checkbox, and here I define the to-do item ID variable, which will take the to-do item, find it out using jQuery, go up to its parent and go up again, and take the attribute of the grandparent of our input so that we can use it, because our ID was actually placed in the table row tag and not in the actually input tag. This next thing we are doing is calling Ajax again, and here we have as a URL an update and concatenated the to-do item ID so that we can know which ID we're looking for, and the type is put here, which is the same as method, and put is just like post with some differences that are a bit deeper in programming. And the data type we are gonna receive is text, again with something telling us that everything was okay, and the content type that we're gonna get is application JSON or chat or with chart set of UTF-8, which enables us using not only English keyboard or English fonts, but also Cyrillic, Armenian, etc. And when everything was okay, we just update our page with list underscore search function, and if we occur error, we just alert that there was an error updating to do. This is a quite easy function, and let's see what our server does. Here we have else if for our update. So here, first of all, I decided to check if the method is put, or it would be the same as checking if the update was actually present in our string of URL. It doesn't change anything. I could just easily change this to vice versa. And so after checking these two things, I defined an up ID variable, which is the part that comes in our code, in our URL after the update slash thing. As we have here exactly 8 characters, I've just decided to be simple and remove everything that is before the 8 part, so that only the actual ID remains. And now I use a for loop, which will start at the point 0 and go until it is equal to to-do's length, and it will increase by 1 every time. And in every step, I'll be checking if our ID is the same as the ID of the actual to-do. So I check here that if to-do i.id equals the ID I've just received, then I'm just changing the checked mark with the opposite value, and as we had true or false, so not true becomes false and not false becomes true. And if I've done everything, then I'm just putting the status code of 200 as OK, and finishing my code with result and successfully updated text. And if I go through all my to-dos and not find the ID that I am looking for, it is probably that we don't have any and an error was occurred. So I respond with a status code of 202 not found and response end with data not found. The last but not least thing is the property of deleting an item, which is done by this function delete_key, and which is called by the onClick function that I was using in my bottom, and it takes as an argument this, which means it takes as an argument the bottom, and here it calls the argument a to-do item, and just like the previous function with the update, it does everything the same actually, but the only thing different is that as a URL I sent delete but not update, and the type of my request is delete, which simply means that the aim of my request is to delete something from the database, and the data type is just text again that will say that it's okay. And if we succeed with this, we just update our list, and if not, we just alert that it couldn't delete anything. This is everything that is done by our client, and meanwhile our server finds out that this part is done when the URL consists of a delete part, and again I take the part after delete/part because I really need the ID again, and just in previous case I go through all my to-dos with a for loop, and if I match something then I just splice my to-dos with one like item starting from this index, and then I again respond with a status code of 200 and saying that successfully removed, and if not I just put my status code 404 data was not found or anything, and just return to my main.js. This was probably all. I hope that you understood everything, and if not, you are free to ask me questions. And also I want to mention that there are really more express and easy ways to do things, but just to explain how things work in a more simple way, I've done this part. And also I've put some styling tags here. This is not the case that I'm gonna discuss, but if you really need this source code, I'll put the GitHub link below, and thank you for your attention. See you soon.